rolling. Brittani Parish. It's very nice to meet you.
Very nice to be
I'm
here.
glad we finally got this locked down.
Me too. Our schedule's been kind of funky.
Yeah, I hear that. So go ahead and tell us why you're here and a little bit about yourself.
I am Brittani Parish, as he said. I am here because I saw a good friend of mine on the podcast not too long ago, Chris Leathers, for those that have watched. And I just I felt inclined to reach out and see if he wanted to have me on the podcast as well. I recently joined a nonprofit group. It is not my nonprofit, but I'm in the team of people that operate the nonprofit, and it is called Soldiers Point. It is really pretty awesome. It's transitional housing and just life support for veterans that have really nowhere else to go. My goal when I started to be a part of Soldiers Point is to eventually broaden this reach and help more than just veterans. I know that veterans are a large majority of our population that needs help, and I understand that, but I also want to reach out to, single parents that don't have much help, the single parents that have applied for governmental assistance and are getting turned down or whatsoever. Former drug addicts. I grew up with that around me pretty constantly. So there was just something that pulled at me recently that I needed to get more involved in my community. And the lady that runs this nonprofit just so happens to live down the street from me. So nice. I felt like it was kind of a God thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've just been diving in as much as I can, and I still have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing something, and that's more than I guess some people can say.
Right. I don't really know what I'm doing with this thing either, so I'm just I could talk to people, so that's why I was like, put a microphone in front of me.
But you know what? I think that's the reason why I was so excited, though, because when you do this, whether you realize it or not, but you are putting this out into the community, and it only takes one person with the right resources and the right heart to do something about it.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
If I can reach anybody, then that's
where is it located? Is it in Burleson? Is that right?
So we live in Godley, me and the lady that run it. Her name is Shauna. But we serve all of Johnson County. So it's a Johnson County nonprofit. And like I said, I think ultimately she wants to broaden it as well. But for right now, it's, like I said, case management, supportive services, transitional housing. We help them with VA stuff. We take them to appointments, just give them their bearings, because a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever had any veteran friends or anything like that, but
I do.
A lot of times when they come back into civilian life, it's just shell shock, and you just don't know what to do, where to go. Sometimes, or actually a lot of times, they had a specific role or purpose in the military, and then they get out of it, and it is quite literally just going, well, what is my purpose now?
Yeah.
My father was in the military, he was in the Navy, and if I'm being honest with you, I'm an adult now, and I can understand more of what he was going through when he was younger, but when he got out of the military, it was really hard for him because he just, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's like he lost his purpose.
Yeah, and it took him years, and even now if you ask him, he'll go, I still, at 60 years old, I still never figured out what I wanted to do with my life.
Wow.
So that's just that's always stuck with me when he said that, and I don't want other people to have to go through that.
I hear that. So what kind of help are you guys looking for right now? What do y'all need?
We really need donations. I mean, I know that sounds terrible because everybody is saying they need donations, but we need donations to create more housing opportunities. We need donations to help with transitional services, with rehab, with, helping afford mental health services. My goal would be to get a pretty big plot of land, if I'm being honest with you, and just have almost like a tiny home community on the land. And then those little tiny homes would be rented out at a very affordable price for a certain period of time to whomever qualified for that. So really building resources. If anybody has any land that they're willing to either lease or donate to the cause, there's ways that can be a pretty significant tax write-off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're looking for anybody that just has kindness and generosity in their heart and would be willing to, even just sit down and talk with us, because at this present moment, if I'm being honest with you, there's so much that we still need that it would just be, hey, let's sit down and talk and see what you can do for us and how you can be a part of this nonprofit.
Okay. So do you guys need like volunteers and stuff like that as well?
We could use that as well, yeah. We do feed the homeless, and we feed, the veterans and stuff periodically. I don't just work with Soldiers Point. I actually just recently started working with Tailgate Ministries as well. And they go actually downtown, like downtown Fort Worth, and feed the homeless and try to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
I'm a faith-driven woman, and I liked any opportunity to share that. So we do that as well with Soldiers Point. But, in today's society, you got to be careful with that, because not everybody is receiving of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which is a shame.
It is a shame.
I'm a God-fearing person too, so I completely get that.
Yeah.
Do y'all work with any other, like the other 501(c)(3)s or charities or anything like that here in Johnson County?
Yes. Dadgummit, I wish Shauna was here right now, because she's the one that knows all of our like partnerships or collaborations, I guess. I'm still kind of new to helping out with Soldiers Point, but one of the things that I told Shauna whenever I started on this is that I am not ever afraid to talk to people.
Yeah.
I'm not ever afraid to put this message out there. So even if I don't know everything, I'm willing to just talk about it and just put it out there. You know?
For sure.
Because if you don't, you're always just going to be in a corner, and no one's going to know what you're doing. No one's going to, even be inclined to help, because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know about you. And I think it really is. There's a lot of veteran services out there, or a lot of like organizations that are helping veterans, but not every veteran wants to go live in like a halfway house or like in a group home or something like that. People want their privacy. And so I think what the cool thing is that Soldiers Point wants to do is to be able to give people space and, privacy, but also give them camaraderie, give them people surrounding them that are in the same situation,
Yeah.
And that's what I think the ultimate goal is with, if we can get land and start doing that. They already have, I think, a couple of houses out in Venus on a small location, but we're really trying to expand upon that if we can, or even just move locations entirely.
Oh, right on.
So,
have you heard of Shine Together?
I watched your episode on it, but before that hadn't heard much about it at all.
Yeah, so it's mostly like they have little grocery stores like in town. There's one Joshua, Venus, and Cleburne, and some other places too that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But it's called, like, they call it like Shine 66, because they say it's 66 hours from their lunch on Friday afternoon to their breakfast on Monday morning for these kids. And so the grocery stores are like for them to be able to take food home for the weekends to be fed. But there's also like there's a men's group on there where they do retreats a couple times a year, where you kind of go out to their ranch in Missouri and ride side by sides and do kayaks and do stuff like that. That might be really something good for veterans too, that are kind of in a mental place, but it also puts other men in their lives as well, to be able to help them out, because that's kind of what it's all about, is just helping each other out,
surrounding yourself with the right people.
Correct. I plan on doing one of their retreats. It sounded like a lot of fun. They said it was pretty inexpensive for what it is too. That's awesome. I was like, I'm definitely going to look into that as well, but that might be somebody that you can definitely help collaborate with.
Well, and I've been blessed. I very briefly, let me backtrack. So I've had a pretty decent presence in the Johnson County area, thankfully, for what I do. I've been a personal trainer in this area for a long time, and I have a great network of people. And I just recently worked at Crunch for a couple of months, realized very quickly I didn't want to work for corporate anything. I'm not a monkey, sorry to anybody who does. But when I worked there, I made a lot of amazing friendships with people. One of them is a licensed counselor. She specializes in, mental health disorders and just like the stuff that it affects who we're dealing with here. And she's offering her services pro bono. So, I mean, it feels like we've got a bunch of people in our corner that want to help. But just right now, we've just got to figure out where to get these people, it's like, cool, we've got all the resources for like how to help them
Right.
except for the location, you know, and just little things here and there. Like, I mean, some of these people, I met a guy, and I'm not going to mention his name or anything like that, but he probably hasn't had a new set of clothes in years.
Wow.
It's just like little things that we often take for granted, like new pair of shoes, like just stuff like that. And when you don't have a job and you don't know how to get a job because you were in the military and that was your job, you don't have a degree. Not saying that degrees are even really that important anymore these days.
Well, unless you're some kind of professional.
Yeah, but if you don't have a skill set outside of what was provided to you in the military and what you trained for in the military, you're SOL. So, and a lot of times, from my experience with working with these people, and even with my dad graduated high school and went into the military. He didn't start prioritizing his education until much later in his life, and he was lucky to be able to do that, or blessed to be able to do that. But you have to have money to go to school. So it's just this vicious cycle of them just not being equipped or not having the resources available to them to even further their life.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of them fall victim to drugs and alcohol, and then it's just continues that vicious cycle.
Yeah, especially one that's seen, actual combat and stuff, and,
Yeah.
and had to do things. And so there's a podcast that I listen to a lot called Soft White Underbelly.
I listen to that too.
And the veteran ones, man, they always get me.
They make me cry every
Yeah, me
time.
too. And I have a big heart for the veterans. I feel like we owe them everything. And yeah, but just listen to some of their stories. It's sad and it's crazy,
I think the ones that get me are the ones that, like, I remember hearing, I don't know if it was Soft White Underbelly or another one, but I remember this one lady came on, and she said that when she came back home that her husband was gone, her kids were gone. Husband took
wow.
the kids, everything. She came home to nothing and had to start life completely over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I mean, that, since I have children, I couldn't imagine leaving and going to fight for my country and then coming home and knowing that my significant other took everything from me.
Right, yeah. And
So.
I think that happens both ways, too.
It
I
does,
mean,
yeah. I mean, sure, but it's just that kind of stuff. Like, those people, I just feel like, they've done nothing but try to protect us and serve us, and then for what?
Right.
You know?
Well, I know that you're working with this group right now, the Soldiers Point, Texas, but you want to branch off and do your own thing eventually.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So that's where I was saying, when I first wrote you, my ultimate goal is to rebrand or whatever, or branch off from this with her guidance and do homestead and healing. And so that my concept is to do the tiny homes like I suggested, but I also want to have like a central community center that's going to have different rooms for counseling services, health, doing physicals, checking on their actual physical health and well-being. I'd like to have like a little gym area in there. Basically things that you would find at like a YMCA, but geared towards them. And then the other thing that I thought would be really fantastic is providing like farming and homesteading for these people to give them a sense of day-to-day purpose.
Yeah.
Just to give them, and also every study out there suggests that immersing yourself in at least 15 minutes a day in solid sunshine, getting your feet and your hands dirty and like working the land, that is comparable to the best therapy you could pay for.
Yeah.
And it could be free,
Yeah, Gary Brecka talks about that. So,
Yes,
he talks about the red light therapies
Yes.
and doing this and that, but he's like, hey, just take your shoes off
Just
and
take
go
your
walk
shoes
around
off
in the
and go
backyard.
around.
Yeah, and walk around the sun.
Yeah. And so, with them, say you've got somebody who moves into this community, okay? And then it's their first few weeks there and they're trying to look for a job, but they don't have anything yet. They can have purpose and they can have chores and they can have things that keep them occupied so they're not going out and doing things that they don't want to do, so that they feel like they're a part of something. Because really, that's a big thing that I've heard from a lot of veterans is you go from being a part of this amazing thing, this unit, to being a nobody. And so when you have something like Homestead and Healing, in my mind, it takes that away. You wake up and you go, oh, okay, today I've got to go feed the chickens, or
Yeah.
today I've got to go tend to the cows or whatever. And the other cool thing is then you're learning self-sufficiency. So they're gathering their food. They're, maybe they're working together that night to make dinner together as a community. And basically, what I would like my role to be eventually is just to be kind of like the director of that and just be there for them and counsel them and also help with fitness and, whatever I can do, I
Yeah.
guess. Like I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, I suppose.
I hear that. Same way, kind of sometimes.
Yeah. I like to help people.
Yeah.
I don't really know how else to say it. I like to help people and I feel called to do this and I don't exactly know where it's going to take me, but I'm hoping that my vision can come true.
So, what kind of gave you that drive into starting to step into, and come into this and be able to help these
I had a dream about
veterans?
it.
Really?
I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm pretty sure I was having like a perimenopause episode. I was soaked in sweat, but I was having a really good dream. And my dream was I know this sounds absolutely crazy. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I went into my office and I pulled up ChatGPT and I just started like typing what was in my dream. And then I asked it to make a 3D visual image of what I put in there. And when I saw it on ChatGPT and I saw what it could look like is when it solidified that, yeah, I really want to do this.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
So,
crazy.
and it was, I got baptized. My husband and I got baptized last November. And ever since I got baptized, just weird things like that have been happening. So,
That's great.
yeah. And I mean, I've never, ever, I mean, I have volunteered in things before. Don't get me wrong. Like I've done good things in my community, but I've never felt the call,
Yeah.
like this pulling inside of me to do something more than what I'm doing right now. And like I said, I put a post on Facebook and was just kind of trying to get some sort of direction for that vision. And then that's when Shauna wrote me and she said, well, this is what I'm doing and it's kind of along the same lines as what you're doing. I know it's a niche of people, but you can at least like come help me and get used to what a nonprofit operates like, and like I'll teach you the ropes and then maybe we can progress and expand. So that's my goal with everything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I have it in my mind and there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about it. So I mean, I know that it's something that God's telling me I need to do. I
Yeah.
just have to figure out how to do it.
Nah,
So.
yeah, I get it too.
But the one thing about me that you'll ask any of my friends and my husband is I am utterly relentless when it comes to something I want to do.
And
I
that's
spent
good.
12 years trying to turn pro in bodybuilding. So
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to get into that because I want to hear some stories because
Yeah.
that's awesome to me. I was going to say go ahead and let's hear a little bit more about you. Like where were you born and raised and all that stuff?
okay, so I am a Yankee born lady.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't like talking about it. So dad was in the Navy. He was stationed in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I think is where I was born. I was literally there less than a month, and then we moved to San Diego. So I spent most of my early childhood in San Diego because he was stationed there. Then he got out. We moved to Texas. His family originally is from Alvarado, so the Shipmans are pretty big out in Alvarado. And then our little unit moved to Burleson. I lived in Burleson until I was 25. I got married to my first husband, moved back out to California, but we moved to Monterey.
I don't know. I've never been to California, so no idea.
California, they can keep it. I'm good. I'll stay in Texas. But Northern California was just not anything like what I remember. I mean, it is just a dramatic difference. There was this like looming fog every day. It would come in at like 5 a.m. and it wouldn't dissipate until 12 or 1 in the afternoon.
Oh wow!
And I was pregnant like, 9 months out of the 2 years I was there. So I was just miserable. It was just, I'm a sunshine person. I understand that Texas gets really hot, but when you walk outside in Northern California in Monterey, in the morning hours, you can hardly see because the mist is so
That's
dense.
wild.
And it was cold, and like you'd have to go if you went to the beach, you'd have to be in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
And I literally looked like a whale when I put a wetsuit on because I was pregnant. So no, thank you. But yeah, so then my ex and I divorced. I have 3 daughters. So I have my first daughter when I was 16. Her father and I co-parent very well. We're great friends. We were never together, but we have raised her together. Second daughter was from first marriage. I know my life sounds like a Jerry Springer show.
No, no worries.
But yeah, so we co-parent as well. He's married again. Don't have any baby daddy drama. It just is what it is. He lives in Virginia, I think, somewhere like that, close to there. And then now I've been with my current husband for almost 9 years.
Nice.
And we have Mila. So we have Kaylee Ray, Eliana, and Mila. All girls. Yeah.
That's all right, though. I got a buddy that's got 4 girls.
Yeah. It was really funny, I'm not going to lie, because for the longest time, everybody thought that Mila was going to be a boy because she carried so much differently than the other 2 girls did. So when I found out that I was having a girl, of course, I had to call my mom. So I call her and, I'm talking. I was like, so guess what? And I said, I'm going to have a girl. And she just starts like, I can just see her throwing her head back and like maniacally laughing. And she's like, I knew you were going to have another girl. So yeah, but what's funny about it all is Mila is the most tomboy little girl you'll ever meet in your life. Like she'll walk up to you and be like, I farted, like she's
hilarious.
just, yeah, she's a nutcase, but she gets it naturally. But, did physical therapy for several years. I still use it often to help with my clients. While I was doing physical therapy, I was still personal training. So I've been personal training since I was 17. I was always kind of a fat kid.
Same.
Still
am.
Shut up. But I'm like 5'9", 5'10"-ish. And I was like, look, if I'm going to be a big bitch, I might as well just be a big muscular one. So got into bodybuilding. I was a powerlifter first. So did that for about 10 years. Kind of, this is going to sound a certain type of way. I don't want it to. But I got tired of winning. So then I was like, I need a new challenge.
Yeah.
And I went into bodybuilding, and it was it smacked me in the face. For the first 5 years, I don't think I ever won anything.
It seems pretty difficult, too.
It was treacherous in the best way possible. Like, there's just certain parts of, like, yourself that gets uncovered when you do a bodybuilding show. Like, you just learn so much about yourself and what you're capable of and what you can truly endure, like physically and mentally and emotionally. I have a friend of mine, his name is Alex, and he used to joke that like every time I would do a show, then I'd get pregnant. So like, I'm not really, because I'd have way more kids, but I don't know. It's just like, I crave the stage. It's something about like being up there and the culmination of your efforts and doing something that like a very small percentage of the population can do, And also it's been really cool because I've been able to use all of that to help women not fall victim to their excuses. So I can't tell you how many women I've worked with where they're like, well, I can't do that because I don't have time. Or I can't do that because my kids this, that, or the other. Or I can't do that because my spouse doesn't like me to blah, blah, blah. So there's just a lot of things where I feel like we maybe involuntarily strip ourselves of our ability to do things because we're worried we can't do them. So when you do a show and you actually follow through with it and you make it to the stage, it really doesn't matter how you place. Like that victory is just the fact that you dedicated however many weeks it was, which my preps are normally no less than 20 weeks. So you're talking about months, 6 months of your year dedicated to getting there. So, and I still coach. I've actually got 2 guys hitting the stage. One's hitting the stage in 31 days, and the other guy's going to hit the stage in about 17 weeks. I put my best friend. I don't know. Have you met Dariana, Chris's girlfriend?
Yeah, briefly when I was I was helping them with fishing poles for kids. I was out there
Yeah,
tying hooks and stuff like
yeah.
that. So I didn't really get a chance to like talk to her. It was more like, "Hey,
That's
how you doing?"
that
And
is my little chocolate drop. That is my very best friend. She's been with me. She was the only person that ever checked on me when I had my back surgery. So she's just an amazing woman. But I put her on stage and she got top 3 in her very first show.
oh wow,
Yeah, so she's a little muscle nugget. Yeah, I just bodybuilding is a passion. I don't really care about it being a monetary thing.
yeah.
I just really enjoy it.
So what's the process like for like if you're wanting to get into bodybuilding? How do you start?
Well, you have to go and buy an NPC card because you have to have a like NPC membership card to compete. Period. I think it's like $175, and then you literally just go on to NPC USA Texas and you pick a show,
And that's it.
and then either you self coach or you hire a coach, and they will say yes, we can do this in this amount of time, or they'll say no, maybe we need to have like a health phase figure or like a growth phase and then go into a cut. Oftentimes I will not go straight into a cut with somebody because I have to learn their body. So like and I'm also not the coach that will ever advise tren or anything like that. Like I'm not big on copious amounts of steroids, if I'm being honest with you. Like that's something that I think I coach 3 guys right now. I don't have any female clients right now, which is kind of strange, but and one guy, when he first started with me, he's like, I just want to make sure that I can still have kids. And I was like, it's never my intention to make it to where you're
Yeah.
impotent. You know what I mean? I think that that's careless. And there should be longevity in the sport. You can still be very successful in the sport without destroying your body. You know? So I'm a pretty conservative person when it comes to that. So I'm not trying to have a micro penis.
Yeah, I hear that.
So
Do you
sorry, guys.
do you utilize any like peptides or anything like that though?
Oh yeah. So my last prep, Retta was my game changer, and obviously it's like all the hype now that and terzepatide and all that. So, but peptides are not new. I know
No, they're
a
not.
lot of people think they are, but they're not new. I've been studying peptides for at least the last like 6-7 years, but they weren't as easily accessible as they are now. So
And they're still trying to, or they were before trying to get rid of them. And
yes,
it was
yeah.
like I couldn't figure out why. I was like, 'cause
Well,
there's not a lot of bad benefits to them, but there's tons of good benefits to them.
yes. Well, and I think the big issue, or I think what Big Pharma is afraid of, is that they are more effective than most other things, and they are going to be able to take people off of other things.
Other things.
You know, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, Retta is fantastic. A lot of times, if somebody comes to me, depending on their goals, if it's like muscle building and you know, just helping out with like a first timer and they don't want to take steroids, which is, I don't think anybody should just start taking steroids. You should tap out your genetic potential before you touch anything. But like CJC, ipamorelin, there's a lot out there. Like BPC 157 took 7 weeks off of my last back surgery. I used it and it helped me achieve the same outcome as the first surgery with 7 weeks difference.
That was another thing that we were talking earlier about my injury, and I did do a cycle of that, a 3-month cycle of BPC 157. Then I think I was on like a combination of that and TB 500. And I can't remember what the last one was. That
You probably took
put
the
me on.
Wolverine complex.
Yeah.
Which I think is GHKCU as
Okay,
well.
that sounds about
Yep.
right. I can't remember because it was a few months ago now, but
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't really help as much as I would have liked for it to. But I think I've just got more stuff going
I was
on.
about to say, I mean, there's only so much it can do. I mean, it's primarily for tissue regeneration and healing, gut repair, inflammation, that kind of thing. But if you have like a serious issue that may require surgery or something like that, I don't think that it's going to fix that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hear that.
There's MOTS-C, there's NAD+, there's tesamorelin, there's all kinds of peptides out there. But I think my only fear with peptides is that because they are so readily available now and so like trendy that people are just going to start like taking a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there's quite a few peptides that tend to have the exact same purpose. So there's really no need to take,
More.
you know what I mean? That would be like somebody taking testosterone, tren, and then another DHT derivative on top of that. Like there's sometimes less is more. So
No, I hear you with that. Man, I forgot what I was going with that thought. This happens. Anyway, how many shows have you done? How many times have you been on stage?
I think 8.
8?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't, I was never the one that competed more than 1 to 2 times per year. And then there were some times where I would take an entire year off or so because you can't grow.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know that like watching like Ronnie Coleman's documentary. He like every year he took 3 months off after a show. It was like boom, took 3 months off.
Yep. Well, and also just being a female, typically it's going to take me just a little bit longer to put on the kind of mass that I want to put on unless I'm just bombing my body with steroids. And like I said, that's just not something I was comfortable with doing. So it took a little bit longer to get where I wanted to be. And I do still kind of toss up the idea of trying to go to the Olympia. But if I'm being honest with you, the look that was starting to get popular it's not the look that I like. I like the classic women's bodybuilding look, which is like the early 90s, early 2000s, or late 90s, early 2000s, even the late 80s, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I like the Corey Iverson look, the Linda Murray look.
What do they call that? Is it like physique or?
See, that look was women's bodybuilding at that time. But now that look is more like women's figure, women's physique. And it's like, I love women's bodybuilding. That's the division I want to be in, but I'm not okay with looking like a bulldog.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where I'm having a really hard time because I don't know if my bodybuilding career is stopping or if that's something that I'm going to pursue. It just kind of just letting it. My priorities are other things right now.
Yeah, and that's okay too.
Yeah, if I can just stay, at least with like 17-inch arms, I'll be good.
All right. No, I hear you there. Yeah, I'm dealing with my whole thing right now, so I'm probably gonna be hitting you up to maybe do some sessions with you, see if I can fix what's going on. Because God, I'm so tired of dealing with it.
Well, and like I said, I mean, I have no idea if what I'm going to tell you is going to affect a change at all. But since no one has told you these things thus far, it's not going to hurt anything to try.
That's what I was thinking. It was like, I've tried all this other stuff, so I might as well.
And everything that I'm going to teach you is stuff that you can do at home, that you don't need to go see anybody. That's my big thing is I like people to be autonomous. If I can give you things that you can do at home, what's crazy is it's probably been 5 years, 6 years since I've accessed anything related to like my physical therapy license online, but I still have my login and everything to this really cool database of exercises. It's called hep.com, and I will prescribe home exercise programs to people like you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it doesn't really take me into that like legal issue area because it's just an exercise program. You know what I mean? So you could Google it and find it online if you tried hard enough. But the reason why I like it is because it's truly like physical therapy oriented exercises with a rationale. It gives you exactly what you need to do. The reps, the holds, if there's isometric holds involved, or if there's like breathing exercises involved, or just, more than just a typical do a squat.
Yeah.
It's like gives you the reason for it. But,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where do you normally coach at? When you have because you said you had 3 clients right now, where do you normally coach?
So all of my coaching is virtual.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I used to do in person, but when I gave up personal training in person, I didn't want to give it up completely, so I still do the virtual coaching online. I don't really advertise it. I'm more of like a referral base. Every so often, I'll get on Facebook and somebody will refer somebody to me, and if I'm the appropriate person for them, then we'll work together. But that's not something that I do as like I'm not trying to make my income off that. It's more like I will only take like 5 clients per year Sometimes they drop off and I'll take another person on, but I won't take any more than 5 people per year
Gotcha.
because I don't believe that I can give myself to them adequately if I take more than that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I would love to have 2 more clients hit the stage this year, but right now, since I have at least I have 2, maybe 3. I know my other guy's deciding on if he wants to compete or if he wants to continue to grow this year. So, but I like training guys. I like coaching guys. Not that I have an issue with women, but I'm not for every woman. I'm kind of like you know, I don't buy into the excuse thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then I can kind of be more of a dick to men and they don't care about it. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
laugh it off,
Yeah,
yeah.
they laugh it off. They're a little bit easier to like be a dick to.
Yeah,
And it's funny because my nickname with all of them is Muscle Mommy. So
that's
I'm
awesome.
like, whatever, dude. If that's what y'all want to call me, it's fine.
Oh man, that's what I'll have to call you for now.
I was in one of my girlfriend's phone for a long time. I was the quad mother. I was like, oh, y'all come up with the most retarded names, but I'll take it. It's fun. It's all in good fun.
That's funny. So when you're getting ready for a show and you're done a cut and all that stuff, so like on the day of a show where you're like shredded out, I know that you have to go through the tans. Everybody gets a tan, and you have to, right?
I mean, technically speaking, you don't have to.
Okay.
But if you step on stage and you don't have a show tan, you are going to look absolutely silly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my ex-husband did a show one time and he did like a at-home tan thing. And don't get me wrong, like his physique looked amazing, but he was so washed out on stage because of the stage lighting that the tan is the make it or break it, like when it comes to your physique.
Gotcha.
Because you tan, and then if you do it right, you'll get the glaze too on top of that. So it just accentuates all the deep lines and the separation between your muscles. And that's what you want. So it's just it's a real life filter.
Yeah.
You know, it just makes everything look better.
You have to you're pretty much dehydrated when you're coming on stage, right?
Yeah.
Because I've heard like people talk about like cramps and.
So I've one time cramped, and it was in a rear double by, and I was flexing my right calf, and it locked up, and I just had to grit and bear it until they told us to step off stage, and my freaking calf was sore for like 3 weeks.
Man.
I remember laying in bed, and my calf muscle was just doing this. I couldn't get it to stop. But that was the one time I learned my lesson after that. So I actually I don't taper water down nearly as much as I used to. Science has kind of evolved and shed light on that, and you don't have to dehydrate nearly as much as people think you do
Okay.
if you do it correctly. But your peak week, every peak week that I've ever done, which is the week before the show, has been different than the one prior. So if anybody tells you that your peak week protocol is consistently the same, then they have no idea what they're doing, because every prep I've ever done has been very different from the one before. I might start losing in a completely different area first. I might hold fat in a completely different area all the way up until like 2 weeks before the show, sometimes the week of the show. I've dropped 10 pounds in 1 week. I've dropped 3 pounds in 1 week. So that's why like working with somebody and having an extra set of eyes, and then also just having that feedback periodically throughout prep, it's so important. Because when you get down to like the last 4 weeks of prep, you change daily or, every other day. Something is different. Something's happening pretty regularly. It's not like a month at a time.
Gotcha.
You got to be on it. And that's why, like, when my guys get close, I physically see them in person every couple of days.
Gotcha.
At that point, I need to be able to have eyes on you to see what's going on.
So also when you're like doing a cut, do you shave like a lot of carbs off and do mostly protein? How does it, like
Everybody's different.
everybody's just different? Gotcha. So when you are like in that grow phase, when you're trying to grow, are you basically force feeding yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, in my growth phase, like, I haven't really been, like I said, my priorities haven't been myself here as of late. But in a true growth phase, I'm eating no less than 4,200 calories a day.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
but
it's not like, McDonald's cheeseburgers and
no,
stuff.
no, it's 8 ounces of it's 7.5 to 8 ounces of beef or ground turkey or chicken, ground chicken. I don't really do fish anymore. I got so there was one prep when I was working with a previous coach where the last like 3 to 4 weeks was fish for every meal of every day. And so now I have a really hard time with fish. Like it's got to be like fish tacos. But
Yeah.
if I see a regular fish fillet, I'm going, like I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Same with broccoli. Like broccoli and I became enemies for a little while
Yeah.
because I ate so much of it. I'm talking copious amounts of it.
I can understand that. I do. My body does really well, like on keto. That's when I feel the best and all that stuff. And it's like that's a lot of broccoli.
Yeah.
Like I
And
mean,
see, I'm horrible on keto.
really,
Yeah, I don't. My body does not respond well to high fats.
my cholesterol drops at like to a normal level when I'm
Yeah.
eating carbs. It goes up to over 300.
Yeah.
Very weird.
But see, that's crazy because, that's your chemistry, right? So that would be something that I would pay attention to as your coach and see that you respond to, maybe a 40-40-20, as in like protein, fats, and your carbs be the lower number. But that's why it's so fun. It's a constant science project,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much because not one person is ever the same.
Yeah. Everybody's different.
Yes. And so it takes me really like bearing down. I'll start out with my best educated guess and then we just tweak from there. And if anybody says they do it differently, then they're lying to you. Like it's just a straight lie. Like you have to start somewhere. And that's the reason why I like to give a longer prep when I'm working with people because I need to learn their body. If I do a crash 12-week prep with somebody, I don't give myself time to adequately
actually
coach them. And then I'm taking money from them and I don't feel good about that. So I'll take your money if I'm providing the service that matches that money.
Yeah. No, I hear that. That's very honorable of you too. Just trying to get people in and get people out and
Well,
make bank.
I know you say it's honorable, but I don't want to lie. It's my name too. It's my reputation.
That's true.
And if I put someone on stage and they don't look like what I know I can put out there, that's my reputation. And then people aren't going to take me seriously as a coach. And I don't want that because I may be done competing, but I don't want to be done with bodybuilding entirely.
Yeah.
I want to have my foot in here always because it's just something that's lit my soul on fire since I was 19 years old.
I was going to say, just hear you talking about it, you obviously have a deep passion for it.
Yes, I do. And so really, truly, if I put someone on stage and they don't look up to the standard that I think I can put on stage, then I've done myself a disservice as well.
I don't think that could be really important too with the whole veteran thing, with the Soldier's Point. I mean, getting them,
Healthy.
giving them a person, getting them
Yes.
healthy. And
I mean, like I think about it and I think about like being out there and having that community center and having like a group of guys that maybe haven't touched a weight in God knows how long, outside of PT, but we all know that military PT is more calisthenics than anything. So, I mean, I'm talking about like getting these guys in there and giving them an outlet,
yeah.
giving them a way to get that endorphin rush that they are looking for and that, that feel good, like, how it feels when you leave
I
the
do.
gym after a good workout. There's
for
really
sure.
no way to describe it. It's a euphoria. And that can replace drugs and alcohol, which they often turn to. There's a lot of things that just like movement in general can replace.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of vices.
I've definitely got, on that train. And after a workout, I love it. And,
Yeah.
I take some time off and getting back to it is tough.
It is.
Because I was, like a 5-6 day a week person. Now I'm like 2 to 3 days a week. And that's okay. I'm not trying to jump back in and hurt myself or do anything like that. I'm just kind of taking my own pace to get there. I'm getting older and all that stuff. So
I think this week I've been to the gym twice. Like honestly, since I usually just say my weeks start on Saturdays because I tend to work weekends. So since Saturday I've been to the gym twice. And used to, I would be losing my mind about that. Like I would just be off mentally and just like unstable. But it's okay.
yeah,
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like you don't just lose everything you worked for because you don't go to the gym 5 days a week.
that's true.
And the more I think about it as I get older, I would rather have 3 to 4 like badass, like really intentional workouts than to go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week and have half-assed workouts and just go because I think I have to go.
And it's funny that you say that too. I can't remember who it was. Somebody on Joe Rogan. Anyway, he was talking about that too, where instead of it being super, super intense, you actually go in there and like you'll do a lift, and then instead of like, oh, wait 1 minute and then go right back into it, you wait like 5 to 8 minutes. So your body gets a little bit more rest time, so that intensity that you're actually doing in there is actually more.
Yes.
So you can actually you're actually
Training with intention.
correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And it's true. So like I started actually increasing my rest times to no less than like 2.5, 3 minutes, 2.5 minimum. And what I've seen with that is my ability to progressively overload increased exponentially. I wasn't feeling like my central nervous system was getting fried nearly as fast. Yes, the workouts were a little bit longer, but now I've found that sweet spot to where I know exactly how many exercises I need to fit in and the amount of time that I have allocated to working out while still being able to have my rest times where they're at.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the whole less is more thing, you don't have to do 15 exercises. It's not necessary. It's really not. But you're not a power lifter, so you don't have to just do 2. Like find, and again, this is kind of, I really don't believe that there is a right or wrong way to train. There are so many schools of thought, and you just have to get in the gym and figure out what works for you. But the only way you're going to figure out what works for you is by trying something consistently for a period of time and recording the data.
Yeah, I'm tracking it down.
I am a data-driven person, and if I don't have the data to back it up, or if you don't have the data to back it up with what you're telling me, you can kick rocks. Like, I'm just not going to do it. And I know what works for me. I've done it since I was 17.
Yeah.
So, actually, really 14. I was lifting in high school, but that's when I fell in love with it. But I didn't start like competing until I was 17.
Yeah, I remember went not too long. So when my stepson was in high school, he was dating a girl that was a power lifter. And that was actually pretty interesting to go watch because I'd never actually gone to one before. And I was like, that's really awesome. It was a lot of fun to go to. I mean, I watched the strongman competitions and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That's like so awesome to be
It
these
is.
gigantic human beings, lifting
Well, and
all this crazy stuff.
especially when you see like I'm impressed with the men, don't get me wrong. I've always been impressed with strong men, but there's just something about watching strong women. Like when you go and watch this, I can't remember her name right now, but she recently broke one of the deadlift world records or something like that. And it was like, I want to say it was like 770 pounds or something, this like big African American woman. And I was just like absolutely, utterly impressed with her because I'm pretty certain, correct me if I'm wrong, internet, that she did it raw.
Oh, wow.
So like no suit, just belt and bar. That is freaking phenomenal. My heaviest deadlift I ever did was like 445.
So I never really went. I haven't like maxed out or anything in years since I was on CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I mean that was over
But
8
also
years
like
ago.
it's not necessary.
Yeah, I
You
was
know
like
what
I
mean?
never
Like,
do it, but I think like I deadlift like 350 pounds or something like that.
and functionally, that's good. Like now, whenever I train, I guess it's not that I've lost like my drive for the bodybuilding thing, but it's more like I want to train so that my body is capable.
Me too. Yeah,
I want to
I want to be
train so
functional.
that if shit hits the fan, I'm good. You know what I mean? I can run. I don't like it. I can do it. But, I want to be able to, if something is chasing me and my children, I want to be able to grab both of them and haul ass and
Yeah.
get out of there. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So, I don't know. It's just, but I do think that it's so cool to have gone through like powerlifting and bodybuilding and jujitsu and all the different sports because you get a different perspective on training each time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It just makes you very like well-rounded as an athlete. So,
And it's like jujitsu is a lot different too, because you can have somebody that's so wickedly strong, but if you don't have those techniques
Yep.
and that mobility down, I mean, it's gonna be real hard for you.
yeah. Like, okay, Dariana is 5 feet tall, maybe 140 pounds, 150 pounds. But that woman terrifies me. If I ever got into a fight with her, she would take me down so fast. I mean, I'm talking like timber, because she's knows how to do all that stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's like a black belt or something.
Oh wow,
And
I had no idea.
yeah, I mean, she's this weird like rogue hippie. You know, she's like holistic, and she knows all these like things that she could probably poison me with. But she only uses them for good. She's a good witch. No, but like women like her have always fascinated me because, you know, she's not, I mean, she's strong, but like she's not the strongest in the room. She's not, hasn't done all these conventional sports, but she's done stuff that equips her for real life situations.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I'm like, I want to be like you. You know, like it's cool that I've got the pro bodybuilding thing, but like, what does that carry over into in my life outside of just being cool?
Yeah. No, I understand.
So I think at some point I'm going to get into something like jiu-jitsu or MMA of some sort. But like I said, I think I just have enough on my plate right now.
No, I understand. Yeah, I've been a huge UFC fan for basically it's when I guess like late 90s, early 2000s. So it wasn't very old.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so when I first started watching it, it was like you would go to Blockbuster and you'd be like, oh, look, they got UFC out here, you know.
Blockbuster.
And, you know, you get the VHS or DVD, whatever it is. And, you know, they didn't wear gloves. There wasn't weight classes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hit them in the
It's
nuts.
just like, you're
Yeah,
fighting
it was
you.
like you two guys just throw you in a cage and have at it. You know, there was very few rules. And
Yeah.
it's come a long way since then. And yeah, we watched the fights pretty much every weekend that's on there.
I
And,
do remember like fight night being a huge
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You know, like everybody like, hey, you gonna go watch the fight? Where are you going? I think we're gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
yeah, God, done that so many times where you show up at like, you know, 3 in the afternoon so you
it's
could get a
packed.
table. Yeah, and
I
then
was a
you're
cocktail
watching
waitress
fights.
when that was happening, when it was like really big. And I remember being so excited, you know, wearing my like Buffalo Wild Wings jersey and my little short shorts so I could get all the tips.
Yeah.
The greatest weekend ever. And you'd leave there with cash money
Oh,
because
I
people
bet.
would get stupid drunk.
Oh, for sure. Well,
And then mad.
yeah.
So many fights would break out.
So every time that I went, I've never seen any breakout, but yeah, you know, people get pissed because they lost money or their fighter lost or something like that. And, you know, you are kind of smashed at because if you get there like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon
Well,
and
and
then
they
it's
serve those-
midnight.
Oh, good times. Yeah.
You get your tab and it's $200 and you're like, Jesus.
And I had this one crew of guys that would always come in. I want to say they worked for Halliburton or something like that, but they were like my usuals, you know, in the cocktail bar. And I loved when they showed up because I just knew that they were going to tip heavy. You know, it was always this like really big, like patriarch, bald guy at the back, you know. And he gets down, he's like, "There you go, honey." And like, you know, I would just, thanks. You know? You got to play the game, brother. You got to play the game.
I understand. Yeah, I was a bartender to serve for years and
Oh,
years.
yeah, you know.
Yeah,
You know
I
what's
know.
up.
I know where it
You got
is.
to flash the smile and bat the eyes a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I had when I'd work in the bar, older women and stuff like that would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, it's her birthday." And I'd be like, "Oh, you want a lap dance?" And I would, you know, kind of dance on them a little bit, you know, get them to go crazy for a minute. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
just whatever, you
Well,
know.
and, you know, I know it's silly, but like, especially with older women like that, that made their day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just to get that little flirtatiousness with them and make them feel good.
Right.
It's all innocent until it's not. But,
Yeah, I guess until it's not, yeah. It was all innocent with me. But
yeah.
But yeah, I spent many years doing that. Even when I got like a real job, I still waited tables and bartended on the side for many, many years.
I enjoyed it, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, it was cool.
I didn't want to do it like as my forever gig, but I did enjoy it. I mean, I was able to help put myself through college, and I actually got promoted to hospitality manager very young. But I realized very quickly that that was actually like the lowest of the low on the totem pole, because it was like I got the shit shifts, like
Yeah.
the 2 a.m. closings and like the 9 a.m. opening after the 2 a.m. closing.
Mm-hmm.
And they would send me between like the Arlington Wild Wings and the Weatherford Buffalo Wild Wings and the Burleson Buffalo Wild Wings. So
Oh
I would
man,
just
you're just
like,
driving all over the place.
yeah. So I was like, you know what? Actually, no. No thanks.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked at, let's see. So I worked at Lone Star Cafe in Hillsboro because I went to college at Hill College there. And then they didn't offer the classes that I needed to take, and it was only in Cleburne. So I moved and started working at Chili's. And I worked at Chili's for a long time, and then I worked at Applebee's some too.
Applebee's.
Good old Applebee's.
Yeah, that was another spot. I don't know if it was for you too, but like,
Oh, yeah. The watering hole.
yeah, and it was so gross now if I really think about it. Like, Applebee's is not where it's at, brother.
It's still funny, like, every now and then, like, me and my cousin would be like, hey, man, let's just go up to Applebee's and have a few drinks. We'd go up there, and I'm like, it's the same. It's just like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then like if it was 10 years ago, we would have said the same thing about it being the same
Yeah.
as 10 years ago. It's
Right.
like I think it's like stuck in this time loop
I know,
because it does
right?
not change.
It kind of seems that way. It's fun to go visit every now and then, you know what I mean?
But I walk in and I swear I'll look at the bartender. I'm like, you're the same person from 5 years ago or whatever. The booths all feel the same. Like the food tastes the exact same. Like there's been no evolution of that restaurant at all.
No, there has not.
But I mean, it's tried and true.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
She says promising.
I wish you could smoke cigars in there. I've taken cigars in there before, and they're like, nah, you got to put that out. There's like 10 people sitting around with a cigarette. And I'm like, everybody, they say that stinks.
What?
The cigar stinks?
Man, I love cigars.
I do too.
I want to go to that. Is it Wild, I think, in Burleson? It's like a cigar bar.
Yeah, I've been there a few times, actually. So anytime my wife's in Burleson, she's like, I'm going to go do some shopping. I'm like, that's cool. If you
Cool.
just drop me off right here,
I'll be here
I
when
will
you're
be
done."
perfectly fine. Have a few drinks, have a cigar, and then usually she'll kind of meet me up and smoke a little cigar with me
Yeah.
too. But
My
yeah.
husband likes Black and Milds.
Oh man, like
He's
I'm out of
such a-
high school now, so I don't smoke those anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I know. He's always smoking them. I'm like, what does he call them? He calls them his cigarillos,
Yeah.
I guess, because they're not really cigars.
No.
My favorite is, oh my gosh, Fat Bottom Betty's.
I don't know if I've ever had one of those.
Ooh, oof. So good.
I've tried. I just pretty much go in and I'm looking at anything
Or a
that's,
Patel.
that's not. Yeah, I like the
Rocky Patels.
I like Rocky Patels. I usually buy like the 5-packs or the 6-packs of those a lot because
Yeah.
they're pretty inexpensive and they're decent cigars
Yeah,
for what
and they
you
just
can
they
get.
have they're not like oh my god, I just broke the bank.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're not cheap.
No, but yeah. Eventually, I went like with one of these like roof windows. I want to put in like a fan or a exhaust system or something so we could torch one in here, and I'll be like, yeah.
Let me know and I'll come back.
I still haven't checked out the cigar place that's here in Cleburne yet. Buffalo Creek. It's
I haven't
it's
heard.
on Nolan River going towards 67, and it's right before you get to the 7-Eleven. And it's like it used to be like a house, and now they've turned it into like a cigar shop.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't been there
I
yet.
passed it on the way into town. Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Right
need-
there on the right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really need to check that place out.
Well, let me know how it is,
I definitely will.
because then I don't have to go to Burleson.
So where do you live in Golly? That's what you said. Okay, I was trying to think. I was like, oh yeah, where was it again?
Yeah,
Golly
we
doesn't-
did live in Cleburne 2 years ago. My husband was a firefighter in Cleburne.
Oh really?
He was a firefighter here for about 4 years, but he got diagnosed with AFib,
What's that?
atrial fibrillation, which is basically an irregular sinus rhythm of his heart. But it's not good in high stress environments,
No.
and that's a high stress
yeah,
environment.
That's all it is.
Pretty much the entire time. And also, it was just, I think my husband kind of figured out that maybe he's just not the personality type to be a firefighter. And also, there was 2 instances where he ran calls on an entire family that died, and he saw children dead. And then there was another time where he walked in on a guy that was the exact same age as him that had sat up in the middle of the night, looked at his wife, said, "I love you," and died on the spot. And to get to him, he had to cross over kids' toys. And it was just, it was a lot, and kind of the same with me about like when I lost all those patients during COVID at the nursing home, I just am not a strong enough person on the inside to do that. I
Yeah.
commend nurses and people that work in those fields and can power through that. We are not those people. Like, that's just something that I take home with me, and I just like perseverate on it.
Yeah.
And I wish I wasn't like that, but I guess I have too soft of a heart. I don't know. Like, I can't even watch movies where dogs and kids like are sick and stuff. I have to turn it off.
Oh, wow.
I don't enjoy it. It puts me in a weird space.
My wife can't watch anything if an animal's being hurt.
Yeah,
Or if
I
it's making a
can't.
noise, she's like, la, 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 la,
Yeah,
la.
I will just walk away. I'd rather turn on some animated crap, you know? I'd
Yeah.
rather watch the stuff that the people on acid made. That's all cartoons are these days, I swear. Like, when it comes on, I'm like, that person was on acid when they made that.
I don't know. Mostly we watch We watch South Park a lot.
Well, okay, that's different.
They love South Park.
I love South Park. Trey
is
Parker
great.
and Matt Stone are geniuses.
They make fun of everybody.
Everybody. There's no
Literally.
discrimination, and that's why I like it, because it's like, okay, well, no one can get mad because they're making fun of everyone,
I love it.
you know? Man, basketball.
Oh God, I love that movie.
That's
Growing
like
up
a
in high
classic.
school, is one of my favorite movies.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder if they even look the same. They're old now, I bet.
Man, I think I saw a picture of one of them, not like maybe a year or two ago, and I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
they do look different." But if I looked, I looked a lot different 10 years ago too,
Well,
or
yeah.
15 years ago.
Yes.
You know,
I don't know. I feel like I've looked the same since I was like 12.
I don't know.
Just more wrinkles.
I got a beard and stuff, but I couldn't grow a beard till I was like 30. So I just had this little goatee thing, you know, and then, finally I was just like, when I turned 30, and it took like 3 or 4 months for it to fill in. It was
Yeah,
just
it's
everywhere,
good now.
you know, but yeah, if I shaved it, it would probably take 3 or 4 months for it to look good again.
My ex, he would always complain because he was like, every time I try to grow out my beard, it just looks like a bunch of like glued pubes. So, it's like
That's the way I felt.
my husband now, his hair grows so fast, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it pisses me off because there is this, midlife crisis moment where I shaved half of my head, and I had like the shaved half and
Yeah.
like the Bieber swoop with the other
The
side.
backwards mullet.
Yeah, the backwards mullet. I mean, it was cool looking for a little while. I looked mean. Like, I looked really mean, and I'm not. So I was like, you know what? No. And then trying to grow that out was the weirdest thing.
Can imagine.
I was like, can I just wear half a hat or something? Like, and I would like, when it started growing out, I mean, it just sticking straight out to the
Yeah.
side because it hadn't.
It didn't have the weight
Yeah,
yet.
the weight yet. And it would just never again. Never again. Like, if you're gonna do that, you got to commit to it forever because it's weird, brother. It's weird.
Yeah, my wife's jealous of my hair because I have curls, and she's got
Yeah.
straight hair, so
Oh.
she gets pissed.
Yeah, and my husband's hair is thick and it's healthy, and here I am with spaghetti noodles for hair. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, eventually if I get tired of it, I'll just do a bunch of wigs.
There you go.
Because then I can just be a different person each time. It'll match all my personalities.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the positive. Yeah.
You want a
love
new
that.
wife?
I love that. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh man. So, what else floats your boat? What else do you like to do for fun?
Really, that's about it. I love being a mom. I like to hang out with my kids. That's the main reason why I do the job that I do. Like I said, I went to work at Crunch Fitness. I was a personal training manager there. I started in December of last year, and I was done by the end of February because I realized very quickly that 14-hour work days for a $50,000 paycheck a year was not going to do it for me.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of work in front of
Well,
nothing.
I mean, that was my base salary. I made commission off personal training, but they made it to where I could only personal train X amount of hours during the day. Mm-hmm. So I could only personal train from like 5 a.m. to noon. And then I had to work from noon to 7, and then I could train people again after 7. So if I wanted to make the money that I needed to make, I would have to be there from 5 a.m. until 8:30 at night.
That's no fun.
And I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that.
I'm just not, I love I really do. Like if I could have made personal training my primary thing, and I tried, then I would have done it. But it just, unless you work in a like highly richy rich area like Mansfield or something like that, or even Dallas, which I don't like Dallas.
Yeah.
So unless you work in those areas, it's just really hard to make a living out of that when you have 3 kids.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
I
could
know a
see
lot of
that.
successful personal trainers that don't have children, or that have one child, or the child is grown, or you know what I mean? Like,
It seems like this day and age too, like a lot of the personal trainer stuff that like it's all YouTube online,
yes,
like, but you're right though. The type of trainers they are, that they train athletes, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
yes,
and then, they put content, just
yes,
content,
yep,
content, content,
yep.
content, content.
And I'm not that person. Like, I'm not a content creator. I don't really want to be. Again, that's another reason why I don't really broadcast. Every so often, I might put out like, "Hey, I still, coach. These are the services I offer." But it's just not. I don't want to. I have a specialized niche of people that I like to coach. I do health, or I do like just general health and wellness, but not to the same degree. Like, I'll work with clients that want to lose weight, but predominantly I like my focus to be people that want to step on stage, or that want to have like a massive transformation. Because it's cool.
I
It's
get that, and
fun.
you got to be relentless to do that too, because it's a lot of work, and you got to stay very disciplined. And yeah, you can't just screw off.
Yeah.
Even if you do that for like one day, it can just throw off everything for you.
Yep.
And you can lose a lot from it. So, I mean, I get it. Like, there's no way I'd be able to. I mean, I probably could if I really wanted to do it.
I bet you could.
But because I'm very hard headed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where like, I don't know.
Anybody
I
can
really
do
like a
it.
beer.
Yeah. Anybody can do it, but you have to be willing to give up pretty much everything that you love for at least a little while.
Yeah.
And some people just don't want to do that, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the one time I was in prep, and I gave in and I ate an Oreo, or I think it was like 2 Oreos. And I remember like chewing them and standing over the kitchen counter, and then I got mad at myself. So I like leaned over the sink and like raked it off my tongue, flipped off the sink and walked off. So I was like,
That's savage.
"You ain't gonna win now."
That's savage.
I didn't eat it, so it doesn't count. Like, I didn't swallow all the way down. I just
Right.
tasted it and spit it back up.
That's awesome.
Little borderline like eating disorder-ish, but
I get it though.
but I love to eat. And I think the main reason why bodybuilding was such a addiction for me is because, like I said, whenever I was younger, I was really overweight, and not having control over my body and feeling the way I did about my body for a long time, and just like not hate or not liking myself. When you finally get the power to control that, and you start to like the way you look, it's still, body dysmorphia is still an absolute asshole to me. But who isn't
Yeah.
struggling with that in this day and age? Social media, we
Yeah,
can
I
blame
know.
that for that. So.
For sure. I could blame social media for all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, which is why I actually deleted my Instagram and I only have Facebook.
So I have Facebook, I have X, and I have an Instagram account. I never get on my Instagram account.
I just can't anymore, dude.
And I get on, and I've put it to where I can only get on Facebook and X, both of those combined, for 1 hour a day.
Yep.
And that's it. And so I'll scroll and see what my friends are doing on Facebook and stuff, and laugh at memes and share memes and
And
stuff.
then be done.
And then I get on X and see what the world's pissed off at today, and then just kind of get off of it, and I'm fine. Most of the time, it's just people are, private messaging, and I'm getting, reels and memes
Yeah.
and this and that, and
Yeah.
then we're all just passing them around as,
Yep.
as friends, and that's what mostly that I'm looking at. But
Yeah, and that's exactly how Facebook is for me. And I use it a lot for, showing my recent projects that I've done with work and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and just reaching out to people like this. It's just, Facebook never feels like it messes with my brain mentally. You know what I mean?
it can. You ever get on the Cleburne's talking page?
I never get on stuff like
Oh
that.
man, it could definitely.
Because I know that's going to do that. Like, my husband, he is a massive pot stirrer. Just, I mean, he just freaking, oh, is that a pot full of stuff? Let me go stir it.
Right.
And I tell him all the time he's an instigator, and he's like, yeah, it's what I'm good at. I'm like, but I don't enjoy that, because I'm not paranoid or anything like that, but there have been like crazy stories about people getting pissed off and going and shooting people over something as stupid as like not holding the door open or not saying thank you.
Yeah, that's
Or like
wild.
that 80-year-old grandma that shot somebody for cutting her off on the freaking highway.
Yeah,
And
it's wild.
if I have an opinion, I'm going to lay in bed at night with my spouse and talk to him about it. And we're going to gossip and then
Yeah.
it's going to be done. It's not going to leave our bedroom. I feel like that's,
Yeah, I don't get on there very much. I do read the comments though sometimes. Just
yeah.
sit there with the
Listen, that's
popcorn.
fun. Okay. But I'm not going to engage. I don't want to
I
engage. I
rarely
just want
engage.
to like watch society collapse.
Yeah,
I find it very entertaining
yeah, I agree with
from
that.
afar.
Yeah, I'll stay over here.
Yeah. Hi. No.
Yeah, every now and then I'm on engaged, then I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, nothing good has ever came from it whenever I get involved. And I'm also just like, I'm one of those people who, as soon as you piss me off, I get like, you know, it just boils up out of
Yeah,
me. And I don't like that about myself. So I don't want anything to put me in that position,
yeah,
because I'm like super nice. But if you flip that switch, it's, my bitch switch.
yeah. I just like I I peak really fast when I get angry. Like so when things like that happen, just I'll just go with my wife and be like, you know what really grinds my gears, you know, and I'll just like go on this little rant, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm out of steam now. I'm just like, then I'm
Yeah.
done.
No, my husband will do that and he'll, read to me like the keyboard session that he had with whomever it was he was arguing with
Yeah.
online. And I'll wait until he's done and I'll just go, do you feel better now? And oftentimes I'll go, yeah, and like walk off, So, like, you're just a giant man child.
All right.
But
Yeah. And now you can post anonymously, so I'm sure he's really having fun with that.
oh no, he does not. He wants to be like,
Oh,
this is
this is the
me.
guy.
I am saying this to you, No, he's that guy. Yeah. Which is so funny because he's not even like in real life, like in person, he won't even talk to anybody. Like he's not the person to start a conversation. He's not the person to express that you just made him mad.
I could get him talking.
Yeah, probably. But see, he likes people like you, He could easily talk with you, but I'm the one that usually has to like, okay, babe, come on, like talk,
Yeah.
engage. You can do it.
I just straight like I'll be sitting somewhere, like it doesn't matter where. Like we went to Vegas and we're at the Sphere and we're waiting on the Wizard of Oz to start.
I bet that was
And it was pretty cool.
yeah.
But this guy comes, sits down, and he looks like some kind of New York mobster. I'm not lying. I mean, slicked back hair, leather jacket,
Oh,
everything. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry about this. That you're sitting next to me." I was like, "I will shut up once the movie starts, but until then, I'm probably gonna keep asking you questions." And he was like, "That's fine." And he sounded like he was from New York.
that's
I
the
was
point.
like, God, you got to be in the
Gonna
witness
get a hot dog
protection
and
or
a coffee.
something. Yeah. Well, it turns out he lived in L.A.
Oh.
and owns 3 grocery stores, but he's from New York.
Okay.
And
And he was there to see the Wizard of Oz.
yeah, him and his wife. Yeah. I was like, yeah, you're in witness protection. I know that. I know it. You're some kind of crazy
Yeah,
mobster back in
some
the
kind
day.
of like mafia boss or
And it
like
was fun. He never really
hitman.
broke a smile or anything. He sat there and talked to me contently, and
Very
it was
stoic.
But yeah, very stoic. And then, but yeah, no smiling, no anything, just very serious. And
That's how my husband is.
Soon
Like,
as-
he has such a flat affect.
as soon as the movie started, I was like, "Oh, shut up now."
He's probably like, thank God.
Yeah, probably. So they're like, Jesus Christ. I knew I should have made my wife sit next to this idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when to shut up either sometimes, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I just posted something the other day, and it was like, I have ADHD, so yes, I definitely will elaborate. And
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure I
like-
have ADHD.
And I was like, I don't know if I have the ADHD part, but I will definitely elaborate. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like you can't keep me from shutting up. I'm going to tell you all about it.
My husband tells me that like when I'm really passionate about something or when I'm like nerding out is what he calls it about something, I just like I'll go off and explain every freaking finite detail about everything that I want. Because I feel like if I don't tell you everything, then you won't know. You won't be able to grasp what I'm
Right.
saying, even though it's probably very easy to grasp. but like I have to get it out. I think that's part of my OCD. If it's in my head, I have to verbally.
Yeah, I'm one of the same things. Like if I feel like I needed to say this, I'm gonna walk around for a week thinking to myself like I should have just said it.
And then I'm just gonna say it. Like I'm just gonna randomly
Yeah.
text it to you or call you and be like, "Hey, you remember that last week when we were talking about that? I wanted to tell you this also." Yeah, no, that's definitely me. But luckily, most of my friends are the exact same way, and we can pick up right where we left off, and they follow me, and it's Gucci.
Yeah, yeah. Most of my friends are the same way.
Yeah.
I love that. We like to, so we like to go to a lot like live music. Love watching live music, and probably anybody that watches I'm always wearing a concert shirt because we've got so many concert T-shirts and stuff.
Who is?
This one's John Anderson. Seminole Winds, kind of an inside joke thing. Between me and my wife, I won't put it on here because it's our thing.
Okay.
But it's pretty funny. I'll tell you when we get off. The whole world doesn't need to know it.
Fair enough.
But we have tons of concert shirts and hats and all that. It's pretty much all I wear when I'm just going out to
Yeah.
do something. Is concert shirt and a hat.
Yeah.
Well, we love to do that, but people are real like to gravitate towards us. We don't know people, and we'll just be standing there and just kind of enjoying the show, and people
you're
just
vibing.
come right up and talk to us
Yeah.
like they've known us for their entire lives.
Don't you love that though?
I do. I really do, actually.
Yeah. No, I mean, because then you get to like hear other people. Normally, it's not going to be a superficial conversation either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, normally, it's going to be, it might start out that way, but then all of a sudden, you're talking about like their aunt that died recently,
Yeah.
or like some major life event that they went through. And
Mm-hmm.
it's cool because then you get to know people, you know? And then also, I found that whenever that happens, you end up finding some sort of like link between you and that person.
Yeah,
Oftentimes,
6 degrees
It's-
of separation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I was trying to get at, and it's mind-boggling, but it fascinates me at the same time.
Right.
You know, and like I just it all makes me feel like God did everything.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, no matter what, like it does not matter what anyone says to me anymore because there is no way that you can explain scientifically some of the stuff that I've either witnessed or felt or seen.
think of it like this. Everybody's talking about the science and this and that. Well, the Bible wants you to believe in a lot of miracles, where science wants you to believe in one,
Yeah,
which is the Big Bang.
yeah,
So, I mean, let's think about this.
well, and I think obviously I'm not going to even try to regurgitate what I heard, but I remember the one thing that became a pivotal moment in my faith was when I heard the argument of the human eye and how intricate the human eye is. And if you've never heard that, I do encourage you to go and like read up on it because it's absolutely amazing. When they started really dissecting the human eye and seeing like how it worked and what it does, it basically helped a lot of scientists become Christians
Oh wow.
because there was just, they hit this point where they couldn't explain it scientifically anymore. Like somebody had to have created this.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have to look into it because I
I
don't want to misrepresent like what they're saying or misspeak, but it was truly confirming,
Yeah.
and it was just such a cool argument for Christian faith. And there's just like weird things. Like the other day, my youngest daughter loves Forrest Frank, and one of her favorite songs is "Your Way's Better." It's like one of the hit ones that's on the radio right now. And we were driving, and my husband is an Ella fella, Ella Langley. He loves Ella Langley. Do you know who that is?
Probably if I heard one of her songs.
Okay.
But
Well, she's the country Taylor Swift.
okay, yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, I mean, and he is.
That's what I thought she was.
He's an Ella fella, like to the day he dies. Loves her, and I do too. But we were listening to her, and then Mila's asking if she can play her song, and I immediately knew which one it was. Without even touching the phone, the very next song that came on the playlist was "Your Way's Better" by Forrest Frank. I remember looking on the screen, and out of 1,124 songs, that one came on next.
That's crazy.
Like I know that seems silly, but it's like in that moment, I was like, man, thanks.
Right?
Didn't have to go try to find it, but and she thought it was so cool too. She was like, "Mommy, God played my song."
Yeah, right. Well, just like little moments,
Yeah.
of like where it's like, oh my God, everything is gonna completely go to shit right now.
Yeah.
And you just take a minute and you say like a little prayer, and then all of a sudden it all gets turned around and it all works out just perfectly.
Yes.
And, I know that doesn't happen to everybody, but it's happened not every single time that everything's fallen apart, but there's been a whole lot of it. And it's, I don't know. I just feel it.
It's happened to me more times than I can count,
Oh, for sure. Me too.
and way more in the last 6 months. Or I could be wrong about the amount of times it's happened, and it could just be that I'm way more aware and in tune with that and aligned.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like it probably did happen. I feel like God's always been looking out for me and always trying to get to me. But just recently, I've been welcoming him into my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I'm being honest with you, several years ago, I wasn't even sure if I believed in anything. I wouldn't have said I was atheist because I didn't disbelieve that there was something, but I just wasn't sure what my faith was.
Yeah.
You know, and my brother is too smart for his own good, and he was always like, I always respected his opinion about things, and my brother is unfortunately not a believer yet. I'm hoping that will change. But Big Brother knows everything, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, if he thinks there's not a God, then I think that. But no.
Yeah. I've always had a Christian family, so it's pretty much been there my entire life. But yeah, when I started getting this thing together, it was one of those things. It was full steam ahead. Nothing could get in my
Well,
way.
it seems like you're
I
getting a
just
lot
kinda-
of cool people on here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's fascinating because I love talking to people
Yeah.
and meeting new people and I don't know, seeing how different people tick. You know what I mean?
100%. That's
so-
like my favorite thing.
Yeah, I mean, so sitting down having these conversations to me, it's great. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh man, I'm tired. But then soon as I get up here, I'm like, oh, I'm all amped up. And I
Yep.
get home, I'm telling my wife about the conversation that we had and stuff like that. And but it's fantastic, and I love it, and I love that he's done all this for me. But man, right when I first started, I got super nervous,
Really?
and
I
yeah,
can't even imagine that.
And I was like, oh man, because I'm putting myself out there, and I've been kind of closed up. I haven't really done social media in years and stuff like that. And there's reasons why I've kind of closed myself off before, but yeah, so it was a little nerve wracking, but yeah, I'm just kind of like. I'm posting and ghosting, and I'm not gonna pay attention to any of the comments.
No.
I'm just gonna keep doing this and let it go.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where if you're tied up on what the responses are, then you're not really doing it for your own purposes.
I keep telling
not for
everybody,
them, it's for you.
Yeah, it's actually it's for you.
Well, yeah,
it's
yeah.
for everybody every guest that I get on here. That's who it's for.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep telling myself. I'm trying to take a step back too and be like, don't start talking about yourself, dude.
Yeah, but I think that dialogue is important too, though, because I mean, the conversation, it flows so much better whenever I get to know a little bit more about you too.
Yeah, for sure. And you may have missed a podcast where I said something else, and I don't know what I'm saying on every one of these podcasts. So I'm just kind of just on here being me and just talking to the people. And if I get repetitive, I'm sorry I get repetitive, y'all. But
If I ever practice what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna mess it up.
oh yeah, for sure, me too.
I have to be very impromptu. Like,
Same.
even with my you're supposed to do this routine when you do your bodybuilding shows, and it's usually anywhere from 45 seconds to 60 seconds. I can honestly say there's one time that I practiced the choreography for it, and when I got on stage, I messed the entire thing up, but I just went with it. As long as I can feel the music and flow with it, I just let my body do what I want to do. But the more I practice it, the more nervous I get, and the more I hyperfixate on what if I miss this one move that transitions into the next move. And it's kind of how I take life, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I might have a general idea of what I want to do, but I'm just going to flow with it.
Yeah, I don't come here with questions or anything written down.
Because then it feels scripted.
Yeah, pretty much. And I like the organic and the genuine feel about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just whatever comes to the top of my head at the time. That's just what I blurt out. And
Well, I like it. I think it's fun. and I think you're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it. Was there anything else that you want to plug or anything like that before we get out of here? It's getting hot in here. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. I'm sweating.
I am too.
No, I mean, I feel like I don't even remember what all I've talked about.
Well, go ahead and hit your.
Soldiers Point, Texas. This is our nonprofit that we're working with. If you guys feel inclined to donate, you can visit our website. I'll give it his information or the information to him.
Yeah, I'll post
there's a
it.
QR code. Guys, we take anything and everything.
You have a Facebook page and stuff.
Yes. Yep. We have a Facebook page, Soldiers Point, Texas. You can also just message me if you have any questions or if you want to volunteer or be a part of it. Brittani Parish on Facebook. I think it's IFBB Pro Brittani Parish, but if you just search up my name, you'll find it.
Well, I'll tag you and stuff like that
Yeah.
when I make the post.
And then that's the website there that shows you a little bit more
Okay, cool.
about
Yeah.
it. And then we're local, so we have people all over Johnson County. Like I said, myself and Shauna, who is the primary coordinator of the nonprofit. We live in Godly, so just trying to not only make this happen for everyone, but just trying to get that much closer to the homestead and healing. My vision.
And
So,
that's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking to you.
very nice talking to you.
Bye, everybody.